Yo, what's up everyone? We are diving into some of the sickest manhwa, manhua and manga out there, all featuring OP main characters who basically break the game. If you're all about overpowered heroes, epic battles and crazy powers, then you are gonna love this list. So, let's jump right into these wild stories and find your next favorite read. Next is I, the creator of the evil god. I checked out this manhwa called I, the creator of the evil god, and is pure chaos in the best way. Lu Yu wakes up in the world crawling with monsters and ruled by evil gods, only to find himself about to be sacrificed by cultists. But right at the altar, he unlocks the strange ending editing system. He unlocks this strange editing system that lets him break down materials from anything and create monsters of his own. And here is the kicker. Every monster he makes gives him new powers. The pacing doesn't slow down for a second, and the world building is dark and creative, and the tension feels real, and since characters actually struggle and die. So, if you're into high-stakes survival mixed with cosmic horror, then this one is worth the binge. Next is The Weakest Adventurer's 99th Life, the fastest path from the weakest to strongest. So here is a wild one, The Weakest Adventurer's 99th Life. Picture this, a massive tower called Babel pops up in the capital, filled with treasure, rare loot, and of course, monsters ready to shred you alive. Adventurers rush in chasing glory, and among them is Koichiro. But here is the twist, this isn't just his first run. Dude has been climbing and dying over and over, each time rewinding to the past. 98 failed attempts later, he's on his 99th life, determined to finally save his childhood friend and companions. The pacing is sharp, the death feels real, and every climb keeps you guessing. If you want intensity mixed with true stakes, this one is worth the grind. Next is Territory Defense with Tamed Monsters. It follows Bang Ho Young, a gamer suddenly trapped inside his own game, suddenly appointed as the frontier lord over a ruined wasteland constantly under monstrous attack. With only his unique skill, Conversion, to tame monsters, he must turn enemies into allies and rebuild his territory while surviving relentless threats. The story hooks you with intense pacing, unpredictable battles, and clever world building. You actually feel the danger, the stakes, and the growth of Ho Young as he struggles to protect his land. If you are craving a mix of strategy, action, and inventive monster dynamics, then this manhwa delivers non-stop adrenaline from start to finish. Next is Return of the Absolute Champion. It follows Liam Hill, the so-called absolute champion who once fought the Calamity Demon every 300 years. Betrayed by his own comrades, he loses all his powers and is cursed with immortality and sealed away. Fast forward 1200 years and Liam reincarnates into the body of a bullied student at a magic school. But history now paints him as a villain, and traitorous reincarnated foes lurk in the shadows. This story is all about him clawing his way back, seeking revenge and reclaiming his legacy. The pacing is intense, battles hit hard, and the anti-hero angle is just thrilling. If you want cunning strategy, intense fights, and epic world building, don't miss this one. Moving on to the next one is we have Breakers. I was checking out some new manhwa and Breakers immediately stood out. Ju In Gong gets dragged into the remake of a game he was playing, but things aren't as expected. Instead of playing as the main characters, he wakes up as Shutra, the ninth prince of the demon realm, a character who wasn't even in the game's story. With two mysterious powers, protagonist setting adjustment and power of conquest, he must change the game's plot to survive and face off against Zephyr. The pacing is fast, the stakes are high, and the plot keeps twisting in ways you won't even expect. So, if you're into thrilling, unpredictable adventures, this one is definitely worth checking out. Alright, so Monster Hunter in the Apocalypse is actually pretty wild manhwa. Imagine a world rigged by monsters for 100 years, and then this dude Lin Yuan pops up with a cheat system that lets him capture and control those same monsters. Like he literally has a venom-looking beast as his pet. How cool is that? The art is solid and the whole vibe is kinda dark, but also super fun if you are into overpowered MCs just flexing on everyone. The story is still finding its feet, but honestly, if you have got some free time and want something fresh and a little chaotic, give it a shot. I'm definitely sticking around for at least 20 chapters to see where it goes. Next is System Universe. Alright, let's talk about the System Universe, a survival fantasy with one of the coldest MCs out there. Derek lived through Earth's apocalypse after the system turned it into a monster-infested wasteland, and his only rule was simple: fight, adapt, and trust no one. That mindset made him one of the Earth's strongest warrior, until betrayal sent him crashing into a new world, starting all the way back at level 1. But here is the twist: Derek still has his old system. This manhwa throws you into a raw survival, brutal world building, and stakes where characters can actually die. The pacing never drags, the art delivers, and the MC struggles hard for every win. So, if you like intensity, this one is worth it. We have the Rebellious Apostle of the Harvest Goddess. I was browsing some manhwa and the Rebellious Apostle of the Harvest Goddess instantly stood out. It follows a guy who, against all odds, become an apostle for the deity of abundance, an agriculture-themed god, but here is the twist. His main skill is decapitation. One swing and the corpse are processed. One chop and the supplements are ready to sell. Totally absurd but hilariously efficient. The story kicks off confusingly, but the pacing is flawless, keeping you hooked with every over-the-top moment. The main character struggles, fights, and actually earns his wins, while the world building cleverly balances chaos and strategy. So, if you want intense stakes, unique powers, and a story that keeps surprising you, this one is a wild and a must-read ride. Next is The Dungeon Architect. The story follows Kang Chiu, a genius gamer and dungeon architect who dies saving a child and wakes up as Killa, the weakest son of a brutal demon king. His new family is a nightmare, siblings who try to poison and stab him, and a father who will literally stomp you for being weak. But Killa's got insane regeneration, a sharp mind, and zero patience for being a punching bag. Watching him flip the script on his tormentors, outsmart demon politics, and use his gamer brain to reshape the battlefield is super satisfying. If you enjoy underdog revenge, dark comedy, and clever MCs, definitely give this a shot. The Last Adventurer. Imagine a world where adventure and hope have been snuffed out, leaving only despair in their wake. Except for one badass adventurer named Elpam, who refuses to go down without a fight. When Elpam gets sent back in time, he's determined to rewrite his tragic fate and rise up as the last beacon of hope in this crumbling fantasy world. With his epic world building, intense action, and an MC who's equal parts kind and ruthless, The Last Adventurer is a must-read manhwa that'll keep you hooked until the very end. Alright, that's a wrap on our lineup of manhwa, manhua, and manga with insanely OP MCs. Which one are you hyped to check out first? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more epic recommendations, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time for more awesome anime and manga content.